Welcome back to Living the Wiccan Life. In part 2 of our episode, we interview Kirk White, founder of Cherry Hill Seminary. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and we're still at Pantheacon. And we're here with Kirk White, the founder of Cherry Hill Academy. And we will be talking to Kirk. Hello, Kirk.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
And you're surviving the great room hunt for a place to film this interview.
I am. I'm getting my exercise. It's been quite pleasant.
This is about the 4th or 5th place that we have set up to interview, but this time it's going to work. So, Kirk.
Yes.
You're the founder and the head of Cherry Hill Seminary, yes?
I'm the founder.
The founder.
I am founder and president emeritus.
Okay.
We do have a board of directors that oversees it, and there's an executive director, Holly Emore, who just recently took the position and is handling the day-to-day operations.
Okay.
So.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about what Cherry Hill is for those of our viewers who may not be familiar with it?
Sure. Cherry Hill Seminary is a professional pagan ministry training program that is designed to train people in those skills that are above and beyond the skills necessary to run a coven or a grove or a small group dynamic, but rather to that go beyond and interface more with the dominant culture. One of the things we early on made a distinction of in Cherry Hill Seminary is there's a difference between priestesshood and ministry. And priestesshood is that thing that you learn in your tradition or that you get from your gods. A priestess only is accountable to her gods and her whatever tradition she is. And there's no higher calling, no higher degree or anything like that than whatever it is your tradition says makes you a priestess. And within people's priestesshood, people are called to serve their gods in particular ways. Some people are called to do so through ritual. Some people are served through teaching. Some through music or dance or arts or other expressions. And just as that is the case, some people are called in their priestesshood to serve the gods through this interfacing with the dominant culture, through ministry. And that includes pastoral counseling, public relations work, interfaith work, chaplaincy work, doing public rituals that may or may not include the pagan public, those kind of things. And it occurred to us that just like the person who serves the goddess through music probably took music lessons if they were going to have a serious professional orientation to it, so should we also for people who are going to be doing ministry. And particularly, especially when you get into those things like pastoral counseling, where it really is not a place that we should be learning through trial and error. My ethical statement says that you should do no harm. And if we're learning how to do funerals by making mistakes at people's funerals, or by making mistakes learning on the job doing pastoral counseling, doing poor public relations work and casting a bad image on paganism across the country, then we've done a disservice to ourselves, and that's not acceptable. And so the seminary was created to fill that gap that existed in that realm.
And we were talking a little bit earlier about what led you to found the seminary. And you had some very interesting things to say about that.
Yeah, well, back in the early 80s, I was very interested in doing ministry work. I'd been doing priest work and stuff like that. I've been running covens for quite a while, and I want to be a minister. And I looked all over the country, and there weren't any programs in place. And I talked to Amber Kay at that time. She was entertaining the idea of creating a seminary, and she promised she'd get back to me as soon as she had something. And so I looked at a variety of different options, and really didn't find anything. And so, like most, I think, pagans who've been in the field for a certain length of time, we sort of bootstrapped ourselves up. We went and we got what the training we couldn't find in all one place. We got it here and there and everywhere. And I did likewise, and I got a master's degree in counseling, and did a lot of administrative work, and ultimately was a founding president of a small acupuncture college, and and one day I was complaining about how there still weren't any good pagan seminaries out there, that I could go to, when it occurred to me that I had already acquired the skills to create the thing that I was wishing for, and so it occurred to me that was the message from the gods, that was my job to do it. And
don't you love it when you get that message?
Yeah, and so that's what we did, and I spoke to a few pagans I knew, and particularly people who knew stuff that I didn't know, and we took off from there. And certainly the first batch of people who were the most enthusiastic, in fact, were the other instructors, because we've all bootstrapped ourselves up, and as we did, I'm stronger in this, but she's stronger in that, and we realized that it's through our collectivity that we can exchange this information and in general raise the caliber of ministry in the pagan community.
You have a great many well-known teachers at Cherry Hill, and I was wondering if you could maybe speak about some of the personalities, some of the people who are involved in your programs.
Certainly. We have two department chairs who are quite well known. We have Judy Harrow, who's written a number of popular books, Wicca Covens and a number of others. And Judy has been very active in the counseling profession and at the American Counseling Association and those kind of things. And she's been doing a lot of work with the American Association of Pastoral Counselors, those kind of things. Within her department, we have Dr. Drake Spaeth, who's a professor at some university, I cannot recall. Most of our faculty are terminal degree faculty. So in those fields where there is a doctoral degree, they have it. But ritual design, there aren't any doctoral degrees in, so you just find the person who's the best at it. Maka Nightmare is chair of our public ministry department, and she's been doing a tremendous job at that. Underneath her, in her department, she has a number of well-known people. Probably right at the moment, the most well-known in the media right now is Patrick McCullum, who's been doing a lot of work around the Pinnacle Quest and around prison chaplaincy, that kind of stuff. We have just created a chaplaincy program department under the public ministry, and Patrick is the chair for that, which is very. We're tremendously honored to have him as part of our faculty, in part because he is the person who is the spearheading that whole movement. When it comes down to it, there are no standards at this point for prison chaplains in this country, and the various governmental bodies are saying what are the standards, and the person they're asking is Patrick, and so we're pretty lucky to have Patrick on our faculty, because
yes, indeed.
But we have Patrick. We have Michael York, now a semi-retired professor from the University of Bath, England. I'm trying to remember them all. We have quite a selection of people who are like I said, many of them are faculty members at well-known colleges and universities around the country.
Well, let me ask you, in your teaching, is this done, I believe you have a major online component. How would people go about studying with Cherry Hill?
Well, our program is designed to be a distance learning program, low residency. So the vast majority of the coursework is done online. But we do require periodic intensives. We just had one of those intensives yesterday here. Preceding PentheaCon, figured faculty and students were going to be here anyway. Might as well just have them come a day early. And it does rotate. Currently, it's rotating. The winter intensive is on the West Coast, and the summer intensive is on the East Coast. And that's because we have faculty and students that are spread across North America, and so we try to be fair and balanced about that. but that's the main part of it. Most of the actual coursework is online.
What are you hoping to see for the future with Cherry Hill that you're hoping to do that maybe hasn't been done yet?
Well, I mean, I think in general, Cherry Hill is trying to fill a niche that hasn't been met. There are a number of schools out there that are teaching people how to do their faith, how to be pagans, and there's a real need for that. If Cherry Hill doesn't choose to take that route, to put it into the model of kind of conventional educational models, you would think of people learning to do their faith as being sort of a baccalaureate level. And we're definitely striving at master's level, which has never been done before in this country, and is a real challenge for us. One of the things that we're always trying to work out is how do you balance the needs of the dominant culture with the unique values and qualities of the pagan community, because if we just adopt the models of the dominant culture, if we just copy their educational models, if we just I went to a workshop once and a guy laid out, he said, this is a curriculum for a pagan college I want to start, a seminary, and it had pagan homiletics, and homiletics are doing sermons, and I thought, I don't want us to become that, and if we aren't careful, if we just copy the dominant model, which is so easy because it's natural to us to do, if we just copy that, then the form will ultimately affect the function, and we will become more like they are. We'll develop edifice complexes where we have to have buildings. Not to say buildings are bad, but that to have them, and if we aren't careful, we'll turn into the big white circle on Main Street where all the pews face forward, and we don't want to do that. I believe we would be losing unique features of our spiritual tradition. So the seminary is always trying to walk that line, and that's the hard thing. Even just calling it a seminary. Seminary comes from semen, which has to do with male, and
it's hard to get anyone to go with the ovulary. Though.
That's it, exactly. And the government agencies would recognize.
Well, that's who I mean.
Yeah, and when you're trying to get that proof,
we've found that you have to use the words they know.
Exactly.
Or they will not listen to you.
That's right, and that's why too. Pastoral counseling implies a pastor, which implies sheep and shepherds, and which we also don't think fits us well, but that is the normative language. And so for us, it's always a balance between trying to meet the unique needs of the pagan community without selling out, and trying to do that, and so that's the big thing. Otherwise, the next thing that's probably going to be unfolded from the seminary is a program on interfaith work. There are some amazing interfaith people in the community. Angie Buchanan, Don Frew, Rowan Fairgrove, who none of them are currently faculty at the seminary, but we're hoping to get them. We try real hard to get people who are faculty who aren't just people who write books, but who are people who are actually doing the work on the ground.
There's a tremendous difference between writing the book and doing the work.
And so that's what we're doing. I think down the road there's a dream for bricks and mortar, at least something. But really at this point, we're going with this model. We are also, the goal is to be degree granting and accredited, and we're working with a number of the other schools about talking about the idea of creating an association of pagan schools, which is the very first step in the process of creating an accrediting body, which accredits. It's a long, drawn-out process. We're looking into all those kind of things, and it'll be a journey.
It will.
but it's certainly my passion, and I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful. Are you planning to go to the Parliament of World's Religions in next year in Australia?
I would love to if I can swing the finances.
It will be a wonderful interfaith event.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have some representatives there. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, but we'll see.
Well, hopefully you will. If people would like to find out more about Cherry Hill, or perhaps look into the possibility of becoming a student there, where will they find more information?
They'll find it at www.cherryhillseminary.org.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was worth going through all those rooms.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I hope that you enjoyed our interview with Kirk White, and that you'll join us again next week for more fascinating interviews. Until then, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and I'm very pleased to announce the publication in paperback of Witch School's Lessons for the First Degree. Available now for pre-order from witchschool.com, and coming soon to a bookstore near you, together with lessons for the second degree and